Good morning viewers. Today we are going to see about computer keys operating principle. So this is working principle is based on capacitance. Okay. So let me start with some basic things and then we move on to how the computer keys work. Okay. First assume that you have a 10 volts DC source and you have two equal capacitance. You can have same value or different value, but I am assuming that both the capacitance are same. So this is C, here also it is C. But one of the capacitance is fixed, other one is a variable capacitor. That means one end is fixed, the other plate is variable. This plate is variable. Therefore, the distance between the plates can increase or decrease based on the application of the force. So if this is 10 volts, if both the capacitance are the same equal value, then this will get 5 volts and here 5 volts. Of course, this is going to be positive, negative, and this will be having 5 volts and this will be having 5 volts. Now, since this plate is fixed and this is a movable plate, the capacitance can be altered. So we all know that Q is equal to CV. Therefore, voltage across this capacitor, this is capacitor 1, capacitor 2, but both are same value. The voltage across this capacitor V is equal to Q by C. So, if capacitance increases, voltage decreases. If capacitance decreases, voltage increases. So, this is the concept we are going to use. So, let me write here. So, Q is equal to CV and V is equal to Q by C. So what I am doing is I will explain the computer keyboard keys, how it looks. For example, letter A. So this is letter A. This is plastic insulator. Okay. So from here it is connected to a plate. This plate is a conductive plate. This plate is a conductive. This also, the connector is also conductive. This plate has some thickness. Okay. This is thickness. So this is plate, fixed plate, fixed conductive plate. And then we have here, this one is movable plate. Movable plate. And here we have this is fixed plate. Fixed plate. So in between you have dielectric. So this is both are conductive plates, but this one is movable and this is fixed plate. In between you are having the dielectric. So dielectric I show by dotted lines. That is, it is like this. So we have a fixed plate, this one, this is movable plate. In between you will be having a dielectric. Okay. On top of this it is connected to the insulated key where we will try to press it. So when we try to press, what will happen? The distance between the plate decreases. So that's the concept. Or when you release it, it goes again to the original shape. So this is the distance between the plates, this is the area of the plates. The principles, we know that C is equal to epsilon A by D. Of course, epsilon is equal to epsilon naught epsilon R. and this is going to be a constant for a particular dielectric. Epsilon naught is permittivity of free space. Epsilon r is relative permittivity. Put together for a particular measure, it is a constant. Area of the plate is also constant. So the only thing is, when we try to press, the distance decreases. Distance between the plates is decreases. So D decreases, capacitance increases. Okay. When we release it, what will happen? The distance increases and capacitance decreases. This is the principle. So this principle, if we apply in this equation, what will happen? When C increases, voltage decreases. When C decreases, voltage increases. Keeping this in mind, we are going to connect a circuitry by which we can get the information about the which key has been pressed, because we are pressing a particular key. All other keys are in the same state, that is release state only. So when you press A or release, what is going to happen? Now what you do is, from this point, so this is fixed plate, this is movable plate, and this voltage is going to change based on the distance between the plates. Now this is connected to an operational amplifier, negative, positive. Of course you can set some reference. Say I am setting 2 volts or 1.5 volt, anything. You must set according to, we should get two values, whether which key has been pressed to sense that I am setting this to 2 volts. So what will happen is, as it is, when the key is released in the normal position, this will experience 5 volts. Okay. So this will get 5 volts, and of course this is 5 volts and this is minus 5 volts. So what will happen is, this is reference is 2 volts, whereas this input sees a 5 volts. The inverting input is greater than the non-inverting input. So since this is high, it will go into negative saturation. Negative saturation means it will be seeing a minus 5 volts with respect to ground. If you connect a voltmeter, these 2 points, it will say minus 5 volts. This is one logic. So next case, when the key is pressed, so two cases, one the key is released and the key is pressed. So two cases happens. One, the voltage will be 5 volts, and the other case, the voltage can decrease. So when C increases, voltage decreases, or when C decreases, voltage increases. So we have seen the first case, that is complete 5 volts is appearing here. Now what happens is, when the voltage across the capacitance decreases, say it has gone to say 1 volt or 0.5 volts. So we can have only two values. One is, it can have full voltage, or you can have less voltage. That principle I have told you just now. So first, when this is 5 volts, it is greater than this 2 reference voltage, then it has gone to minus 5 volts. Now for this, 0.5 volts is less than 2 volts. That means the non-inverting input is greater than the inverting input. So this will go into positive saturation. So positive saturation, it will be plus 5 volts. If I say this as logic 1 and this as logic 0, okay, you can assume anyway, but the thing is, it sees a difference in voltage by pressing and releasing. So for the computer decodes that information and it understands that the key A has been pressed. So what's the basic principle by this working principle of computer key is, we make use of the capacitance. What is capacitance? Two conductors separated by a dielectric, that will make a capacitance. And of course, if one plate is fixed, another one is variable. By application of the pressure, this can move. Therefore, it alters the value of capacitance, and that invariably alters the voltage across the capacitance. So we make use of that principle that is utilized in computer keys. Hope you have understood this lecture. Thanks for watching this video. Nandri.